Okay, so I've just delivered some of that out with this twin pack iodite and pulled it back so it doesn't constantly ooze out. I've got a chip of wood with a nice chisel end. I'm going to mix it up and then with care I'm going to nicely and evenly coat that right the way over. And as it sort of settles down and evens itself out, you just check that every little part of that is covered in glue as it sort of just gently runs around itself, like sort of glistening in the light and making sure it's covered. Okay, so got a couple of minutes on that. Now the next bit is for the pins. I have some glue. So that's mixed up, and then that goes on there, and now the fun begins. So I've rounded one end off on each of the pins, and this is a real fiddle, so I'll see you in a minute. So basically I get that, I try and get it down the hole, push it, and just try and drag it down the hole when I'm pushing it in. Okay, like that. Again, the bulleted end. I'm just trying to deliver it down the hole as best I can. So as it goes down, I'll feed another bit down in, and then another bit down in, and get a bit more. I'll see in a bit when they're all done with the lanyard hole. See you in a bit. One thing I do try and do is I use this sliver of wood to packet the epoxy down on this side and the other side. So on all the holes I've really tried to get it down there. So they're all in that side. Now the next one is a real fiddle, because they've all got to line up, and as I push the wood on, these pins start going backwards and forwards a bit. So what I'll do is I'll back them out, and each time I've pushed them through, I've got more chance that I'm dragging glue all the way around the pin, all the way the length of the hole. First time I push it through, it's probably dragged most of it back out the other side. Now when I push them home, I'm pulling glue back the other way. So I've pulled the pins back, hopefully drawing some epoxy back through the hole, so it should now have, you know, as good as a coating as I can get. And I'm going to plaster the other side. Incidentally, I dressed these up on the small sander to get the inside face as flat and as uniform as possible. Right. My little wood chipper is just hanging in there. I think I'll just about make it. So I'm squishing it down the holes. So when the pins go back through again, there should be glue basically the entire length of the pin through the metal, the wood, everything. And I should have enough just in case I need it. I've got a little bit more there for that lanyard tube. Just about on the end there. This bit's a real fiddle, so you'll probably see me struggle, so it's a case of lining it up. Boom, there's some, and then gradually he's in, be out of line that side, and it's a bit of a wiggle and a fiddle and a lanyards through to the bench. Oh, he's at the bench, so he's a bit long, that one. He's there. He's to the bench. Just cool, that was easy. He's to the bench. He's to the bench, he's to the bench, he's to the bench, bench. Okay. Now, just before I squash up in the vise, I'm going to put some tape in this section here, so as I squash it in the vise, I'm not going to really plaster that section in glue as it oozes out. Now it's in a vise, and the jaws go just underneath the pins, the second row, and the spacing that I've got, because I've got really big handles, the sections of the G-clamps that go on with these points here, they're in between the pins. So when you do all your pin designs, take into account where you might want to put the G-clamp mounts. Okay, because you could get over ambitious and do 12 pins, but you'll end up having to put blocks of wood in places that you've got to clamp against later, because the jaws of the G-clamp are too big and fat and they're just getting away the pins. You'd have to get the pins the perfect length to start with, and this is a big faff. I'd rather cut them 2mm long and have done with it. Chuck them in, do them the first time. So that is one of the berserkers in a vise. Hurrah! Well, that long wait for 3/8 bleaking tube, eh? Okie doke, that's Scott Wessex Blaze. Got one in a vise, I'll do the other one tomorrow night. That'll be here. And I've got the hide the stamp, I've got the thing, and then the Marauder. I noticed Equipped to Survive, Equipped to Endure, had a knife maker who was under the tutelage of somebody else, and he had a name. His was a Marauder as well. Well, that's cool. We must be on the same line. A Marauder. This is mine. I think it's about 3 times heavier. A rear hole. That's the way I do it. So, Scott Wessex Place. Let's join me again. See you next one.